The gifts of travel. The great adventure. You know, when you travel, you can throw off the chains of your everyday life and release yourself from your fixed patterns. You have a chance to learn through endless possibilities that come your way. Yes, you are marched through security, and yes, you're given a very small space to sit in a pressurized cabin full of people who would rather not be there. But the truth is, there is this wonderful adventure you are part of. Anything could happen. There are going to be brand new people and places you see, and wonderful opportunities, the romance of getting away, and whatever you might discover. Yes, your trip is a great adventure. Anticipate an amazing experience. Expect miracles to happen. Keep an open mind and an open heart. You are flying. You know, most people never take the time to stop and experience the fact that they're flying. On a small plane, you can't avoid knowing this. But on the big planes, you have so many passengers and distractions and things going on, you tend to forget that you're 33 to 49,000 feet up in the air, flying at approximately 550 miles per hour. It's pretty miraculous. In fact, a lot of times the airlines often give you many distractions and keep you busy, so you don't think about just that. But why not realize and take a few moments to just stop and feel the miracle of the fact that you're flying? The great leveling field. You can learn many lessons by the way you navigate the maze of getting where you need to go. A good attitude is so helpful. You're not considered special by TSA agents, so it's useful to check your ego with your bags. Then when you're treated like just another person among the thousands going through security, you won't mind the cattle call quite so much. Don't take it personally. Everyone is just doing their job. And traveling is indeed a great leveling field. The mirror. Our life reflects back to us what we think and feel. If we're in tune with our hearts and feeling love, we will see that love around us. If we're angry, we're going to encounter anger. You know, life is a strange mirror. And we get very angry when we encounter what we're feeling in other people and other situations, but we really do project what's inside of us on others. So try to feel love, and you'll be amazed at how much love you feel back. Try to experience happiness and see that happiness return. If you're feeling upset and angry, take a few breaths and realize you will probably encounter some anger coming back at you. I find that keeping a journal is a mirror of that mirror. When we write down what we're feeling and thinking, we find a way to reflect back to ourselves what we're seeing and learning. So try to keep a journal of sorts. There's many ways to do it, with an actual paper journal or one that's on your phone. Be a mirror and expect to see wonderful things mirror back to you that will teach you exactly what you need to learn. Who are you? Who are you? How do you live? What do you do? And how do you express all of what comes into play as you travel? Can others even begin to see the real you? Do you want them to? Why not experience the chance to express who you really are? You have that great opportunity to be or not to be. Why not choose to believe in yourself and be who you are? Or are you traveling just as a voyeur who's viewing a live travel channel. Engage. Experience life. Experience the magic of that true you engaging with others. Connections. On each journey, there are more connections than just catching the next plane. You're going to have a chance to make some great connections with fellow travelers, from who you're sitting next to in the waiting room, to who you're sitting next to on the plane, to the airline personnel, to TSA personnel, to where you're going to the hotel. You know nothing of these people, and they know nothing of you. Yet there is an unspoken understanding that you're both on a journey, and that makes a bond of sorts. Perhaps you'll have an insight to share, or some story of a place that they haven't been to, you've been to, or maybe they know about a place you haven't been to. And there are clues to what you've been looking for, possibly in the person sitting right next to you. Sharing your travel experience with a fellow pilgrim on the path is part of the gift of the journey. But try not to make that time you're sharing all about complaining about how bad the trip is. Why not share about the good things in your life? A little magic. While you're on your journey, let life's magic come to you. Leave a little time and space between the things you do, so things can happen. Be open to the mysteries and what they may bring. Maybe leave a little more time between your planes to look around the airport in a city you may never have seen before. Open your mind to people and the places beyond your itinerary. Some of the most wonderful things that happen on a trip are the things that you may not have planned, that may not have been part of your itinerary. But if you don't have the space and time to let them happen, you may lose that opportunity. So give yourself a little time and space and anticipate some wonderful things you never planned of to happen. And let your angels guide you. Are you feeling out of control? So often the anger and fear that can arise in traveling come from the feeling like you're out of control. This is especially true for control freaks. You may not be able to control a lot of circumstances, but you always have a choice on how you can perceive them and the attitude with which you deal with them. Try seeing every challenge as an opportunity to learn and to grow. Rather than struggling and fighting with a situation, go with the flow. Try looking at it as an opportunity, as an adventure and part of the journey. Let go, and let God be in control. Drop the ego and all the worry and fear, and just go with the flow. We may never pass this way again. Try on the attitude of, we may never pass this way again, a song of faith. Seals and Crofts did that song, remember it? Songs and fables remind us to learn from our experiences. Our time on earth is very precious. You may never pass this way again. Remember this while you go through the challenges of travel. Some of your greatest memories may be the trip you're taking right now. It's all part of life's journey. How do you choose to learn from it and appreciate it, and to realize in the moment how precious it really is? We may never pass this way again. Drop the complaints. Who would you be without your complaints? How would you feel if you were to just drop all negative comments and all complaints and say, okay, this is what happened. This is where I am. And it's not right or wrong, good or bad. It is what it is. In every single moment, you will find if you're right in the center of that now moment, you will be okay. So stay centered and drop the spin of negativity and complaints. It only brings you down and gets others upset with you as well. Who would you be without your complaints? You would be you. Stuff. What excess baggage did you bring? What did you pack that you never wore? What clothes could make your trip better? What makes you feel like you're more important? What costumes set the stage for who you think you are? And how many times did you promise to pack light? And yet there's always that reason to fill that bag right up to the top so you can barely zip it up. Oh, to remember, it's not the stuff we wear that makes us happy. It's the stuff inside us that makes a great trip. Let God bless this trip. Have a smile in your heart and feel that smile fill your body and mind and soul. Feel your highest self become open to receive God's infinite blessings. Let those blessings fill you, for in this now moment, as you believe it, you are blessed. Let God come through your soul and be alive in you. Ask that God's blessings protect you and your loved ones. Give thanks and know that God and His angels are there blessing you and your trip with love and light. Thank you, God. Go within. While you're traveling, take some time to stop, be still, and go within. Go to the inner place where the I am that I am dwells. See yourself in that beautiful place of protection in a golden room that shimmers with light. Become one with that light. Fill yourself with that beautiful radiant light. Breathe it in. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Let it refresh and renew you. Let that light shine like a sun in your heart. Be still and know you are at one with the light and love of God, and all is well, for it is so, and so it is. Dwell in I can. On your trip, it may sometimes seem that there's an increased energy of I can't. You may be overwhelmed. You may be upset. And it may seem to be hard to just make it through the day. But take a moment to dwell in I can. Come back to the fresh place of possibilities where you can believe anew in what you can do. With God's help, all things are possible. So ask for God's help. It's a time of new beginnings. Why not begin now? Now is the time of bringing a higher reality into being. Your life is a dream, and with God, you'll always find to awaken to I can. Love will see you through. When life happens, as it always does, love will see you through. When things don't go as planned on your trip, be present to the moment and see what's happening from an objective point of view. Embrace the presence and the human element that is alive in all of what's going on. Be aware, be awakened, find a way to bring love into this human experience of life. And remember, when life happens, love will see you through. The world is your stage. Travel with the joy of the unknown. The world is your stage and the play has just begun. There are so many cultures so different from where we came from. So bring a willing heart and bring an open mind. Let love and understanding guide you. Do the best you can do to do your part. We're all here to learn lessons on how we can live together. Traveling is one of the greatest ways to find that we are all one in spirit, joined on this planet as one human family. So have a blessed journey and travel with the joy in your heart to the unknown, and you just might find we are all one, and we can live together on this planet. As a traveler, you can help to bring that energy of oneness together and peace to the world. Souvenirs. Have you ever wondered what the word souvenir means? It's a word borrowed from French, meaning the act of remembering. And the act of remembering has come to refer to spending money on trinkets, which are often not even made in the place where you visited. When we realize that a souvenir is the true act of remembering, we can think of so many wonderful ways to capture memories. Yes, there are photos. Yes, there are the people we meet. The true gift we received was what we felt in our heart and soul from being in a place. You can write that down in a journal. You can find a small free thing from a place to take back home with you. We may look at all our trinkets years later and smile, knowing that the place we visited was so much more than that souvenir. So find a way to capture a true souvenir. Be present, be aware, and remember to take a moment of a mental picture. And later you can have that act of remembering and have the meaning of that moment as a true souvenir. A window seat. Each trip opens up a window to see the world from a wider perspective, to experience new and wonderful ways to learn about different lifestyles and history. Life is bursting with precious and curious human experiences. Open up your mind so that you can learn to have a new perspective. You have a window seat to the world. Your memory card. When we travel, we make sure we have 1 or 2 large memory cards for our camera so we can take thousands of pictures to capture memories and beauty. How many memories will you capture on this journey? How many pictures will you hold in your mind and soul? How large is your memory card? A pilgrimage. Every journey is a pilgrimage of sorts. Each trip can change your life. I find every trip really does make some changes in my life. Open up new doorways and find new relationships. Perhaps the most valuable relationship is the one you have with yourself and God. Are you ready to let the doorways be opened? Can you see your trip as a pilgrimage? Can you find something of great import that you are taking this trip for? Can you have a goal? Something you can do on this trip that makes it important to your life? Consider your trip as a pilgrimage. Universal sounds. All world travelers encounter languages they may not understand, but they always hear the same sounds of life. A rooster crows, a dog barks, a child cries, a heart beats, a city roars, all in the same universal language of life. You can go to a concert anywhere and understand the sounds, even if you don't understand the language. The sounds of the world are universal. They are common bonds that join us together. Magic happens. A great magic happens when you travel. Some moment when you decide to throw yourself into the adventure of the dream, to see beyond the imagining of places you've never been. The magic can be some part escape, some part freedom, some part romance, some part spirit. Magic happens. So throw open your mind and throw open your heart and embrace the magic. Celebrate the magic that happens. In the spinning of planets. In the spinning of the planets, in the splendor of the stars, we fly across the universe to discover who we are. In the pure light of the holy temple that we see through our vision and the Master's eyes. In the breathing of the in and out, in what's been lost and what's there that we find. Somehow we have all come here, and together we are bound in the spinning of the planets and in the silence sought by the soul, to find a place to understand the truth of this light that God has given us to know. In the imperfections of the dark and light that seem to reveal how vulnerable we are, and how we all do need to accept our imperfections and love this world and all of humanity, to hope with each turning and each life that comes and goes. There shines a brilliant light that spins into infinity as we continue to grow. In the spinning of the planets, each day we piece together the pieces of this puzzle of how we live here and find our way. And we hope and pray each day to see past all our judgments and limitations so we can live here on earth in peace as servants of this planet and the human race where we live and be. We see the star that shines so bright and we begin again each day, still servants of this planet and all who've come here together in this moment in time and space. In the spinning of the planets and with love that reaches deep into our hearts and souls that leads us across the universe to the dance with creation, to carry ever on till it takes us into infinity and then guides us back to our home.